Let me get this. Let me look at swell. Let me get this. I got it.
No, you gotta calm down. Listen to me.
Hey, come on now.
Hungry, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, the thing I'm getting out of this, Roach took the fight. It gives him a chance to really.
Gervonta Davis's corner was in total disarray during his fight against Lamont Roach. Now, his trainer, Calvin Ford, has spoken out about what led to the chaos that night. According to Ford, Davis was pressuring him to make a highly questionable decision. The situation was strikingly similar to the turmoil seen in Tyson Fury's corner during his first undisputed World Heavyweight Championship clash against Alexander Usyk.
It worked, and he's a champion, What's the best for him? I'm hoping that he do what I need him to do, you know what I'm saying? You see how I asked him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody that's...
In that fight, Tyson Fury remained calm with his trainers, but his father, John Fury, created chaos in the corner by constantly raising his voice over Andy Lee and Sugar Hill Stewart. This led to miscommunication, and in the end, Fury misunderstood their instructions, which played a role in his defeat. However, Tank's situation was different. This time, the chaos came directly from him. The fight was unfolding in a completely unexpected way, as Gervonta Davis seemed headed for the final bell after 12 rounds, something that had only happened twice before in his career.
I can see different levels. This time I had a chance to step back, and everybody keeps saying, they changing up stuff. No, we ain't changed up anything.
This was unusual, considering the Baltimore native is known for finishing fights in the 7th, 8th, or 9th round. But this time, Lamont Roach was pushing back, and Davis wasn't in control. His corner grew concerned, trying to guide him, but instead of listening, he argued, raising his voice at Calvin Ford and shouting, "Listen to me." They followed his lead, but it didn't end well, and things could get even worse if his draw against Roach is overturned. Initially, his coaches stayed quiet when asked about Davis's outburst, assuring that everything would be handled. But with the result now hanging in the balance, the situation has taken a serious turn. Here's what's happening.
Like punishment, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes things got to happen to make you get back to where you belong at, you know what I'm saying? And that was...
For Gervonta Davis and his team, it was supposed to be just another routine fight. From the moment his bout with Lamont Roach was announced, there was no sign of worry or tension in Davis's camp. Roach was a familiar opponent with a solid record, and though he held the title, he was seen as the smaller man, nothing that should have caused concern.
You're done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must say...
Seen as a clear underdog, Lamont Roach fought like a man on a mission. From the opening bell, he displayed sharp boxing skills from the outside. When Gervonta Davis forced him to abandon his jab and engage in close combat, Roach didn't hesitate to adapt. By the time the final bell rang, the crowd at Brooklyn's Barclays Center was left in shock. They had just witnessed 36 minutes of intense action, but the outcome was far from certain. As the judges' scores were being counted, Team Davis remained confident until the verdict was announced. Their smiles quickly faded as Davis had to settle for a majority decision draw.
Skillful. Both of them want to take certain chances. Some of them take chances, you know what I'm saying? It was like we was on a boat.
For the first time in his professional career, Gervonta Davis left the ring without a victory. As he slumped into his chair backstage, his team, including Barry Hunter, shook their heads in disappointment over the decision. Hunter, who had stepped into a lead role ahead of Calvin Ford, believed the judges got it wrong. From his perspective, Davis had a tough fight. There was no denying that. But he was certain that in the final rounds, Davis had turned a close contest into a decisive win. "We give credit to the other side," Hunter told us News, "but I thought the last 2 rounds made the difference. I really believed we had done enough to win."
Right.
Well, both of us back today was that again. Nobody won.
On the other hand, many believe Davis should have lost the decision outright, arguing that referee Steve Willis should have ruled it a knockdown when he took a knee in the 9th round. Former IBF, WBC, and WBO lightweight champion George Kambosos Jr., who has traded jabs with Davis on social media, insists that Tank has lost a significant amount of credibility. Speaking to Fight Hype after a training session for his upcoming bout against Dud Yordan on March 22nd, Kambosos didn't hold back. "He just had a draw and lost a lot of stock," he said, wiping sweat from his face. Now, what does he have to do? Rebuild his career? Since the fight with Roach, Davis has been heavily criticized by many in the boxing community.
What do you honestly think about this Davis versus Roach fight? Like, for you at 140, do you feel it's like you fighting a smaller guy at 130, 135? What's your thoughts on them?
Both fighters have expressed their desire for a rematch, while the New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing the controversial moment in the 9th round. A technical failure in the replay system prevented Davis's gesture from being reviewed and officially ruled a knockdown. If the knockdown had been confirmed, Roach would have won the fight by majority decision, securing his place as a two-division world champion. However, with the ruling left unchanged, Davis remains the champion and keeps his unbeaten record intact. Meanwhile, the rivalry between Kambosos and Davis has only intensified. Their feud, which began on social media, is fueled by mutual disrespect. Davis has shown little regard for Kambosos as a fighter, while Kambosos has repeatedly criticized the level of competition Davis has faced throughout his career.
Dates and against Lamont Roach, is it a big fight?
Well, I don't want to disrespect Lamont Roach. He's a very skilled fighter, super featherweight.
Throughout his career, Davis has relied on his athleticism, patience, and punching power to dominate opponents. However, on Saturday night, he faced a fighter who wasn't intimidated and absorbed his shots without suffering major damage. While Davis's skills remain highly respected, some weaknesses in his game have started to surface. Before Roach's impressive performance, the only other fighter to go the distance with Davis was Isaac "Pitbull" Cruz. Now, all eyes are on Davis to see if he follows through on his talk of an immediate rematch. If the fight happens, it will be interesting to see if Roach comes in with more confidence but risks losing his discipline. As for Davis, one big question remains. Can he adjust his style if needed?
He does his own show. He runs his own race, and the fans, like, no matter what, the fans will see, obviously, what the fighter's doing. The fans see what's happening, and
Davis's in-ring IQ is often overlooked. He's known for analyzing his opponents in the early rounds before making adjustments, but against Roach, he never seemed to find his rhythm. After the fight, Roach gained plenty of support, including from Shakur Stevenson, who not only praised his performance, but also expressed interest in facing him next. While that matchup is intriguing, most fans would rather see an immediate rematch between Davis and Roach, especially after Roach raised doubts about Davis's invincibility. Meanwhile, boxing promoter Eddie Hearn has weighed in on the New York State Athletic Commission's review of the controversial bout.
Thoughts on the draw and who you think won?
Do you know what? Honestly, I haven't watched the fight. We had a show that night. I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight...
Hearn believes the New York State Athletic Commission is unlikely to overturn the majority draw decision, but expects a rematch to happen. The fight between Davis and Roach at Barclays Center ended in controversy, particularly due to a 9th round moment where Davis took a voluntary knee without the referee ruling it a knockdown. This led to an official review by the commission, as reported by Dan Raphael of Fight Freaks Unite. Roach's legal team has appealed to have the result changed in his favor, whether by decision, knockout, or disqualification. While acknowledging the dispute, Hearn told Fight Hype on Tuesday that he doesn't anticipate the commission reversing the outcome.
By that, to be honest with you, I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there was a lot of people in boxing that were saying that this is a really tough fight. Like, Lamont Roach is a serious fighter. I said it might not be the biggest profile fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight.
Hearn stated that he doesn't believe the New York State Athletic Commission has the authority to mandate an immediate rematch. He explained that while the commission can review the result, the final decision rests with the governing body, which in this case is the World Boxing Association. However, Hearn expects a rematch to happen regardless. "Everything I'm hearing is that the rematch is going to happen anyway," Hearn revealed. "I think it's pretty much done." He also commented on the 9th round controversy, arguing that Davis taking a knee should have been ruled a knockdown, which could have changed the outcome of the fight.
I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
Do you
know
think
what
New
I'm
York State overturns it?
Hearn explained that if a fighter takes a knee and touches the canvas while punches are being thrown, it should be considered a knockdown. I heard people saying he should be disqualified. He went back to his corner. I don't buy that. I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation, Hearn said. The New York State Athletic Commission's review is still ongoing, and no final verdict has been announced yet. However, a major point of contention remains the missed knockdown call by referee Steve Willis. That crucial moment in the main event potentially cost Lamont Roach Jr. the WBA lightweight title and what could have been a monumental upset over superstar Gervonta Davis.
You know something funny? When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win.
Roach, a former amateur rival of Davis, should have been the headline story after handing the heavily favored Tank, who entered as a minus 1,600 betting favorite, the first blemish of his professional career in their controversial majority draw at Barclays Center. However, the focus also shifted to the New York State Athletic Commission, which failed to provide transparency in the immediate aftermath. On Monday, the commission claimed that a technical issue prevented it from reviewing the instant replay footage within the allotted time. By refusing to call Davis's voluntary knee in round 9 a knockdown, they ultimately cost Roach a crucial 10-8 round, an outcome that would have likely given him the victory. More than just the decision, the missed call also cost Roach the financial windfall of entering their inevitable rematch as the defending champion, potentially missing out on millions of dollars.
Why not? What you talking about? They like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I was like, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing works.
The New York State Athletic Commission has told multiple outlets that it is still reviewing the matter. However, the most baffling storyline that still demands more attention is this: what was going on with Davis? While it was certainly shocking to see the 30-year-old Baltimore native struggle against a massive underdog after years of dominance, that wasn't the most surprising part. Roach, who bulked up to lightweight, actually looked like the bigger fighter in the ring. More importantly, he carried the confidence and experience from growing up in the same boxing circles as Davis, using it to deliver the most impressive performance of his career.
It's sad to say, you know, that's how boxing works. I'm not, like, totally upset. I figured with a superstar.
Biggest questions surrounding Davis weren't just about his performance, but about his mindset and the bizarre behavior he displayed before, during, and after the fight. Was this simply an off night for one of boxing's pound-for-pound best? Or has Davis lost the competitive fire and killer instinct that made him such a box office sensation? It's not uncommon for star boxers to show up late to media events. Davis himself was nearly 2 hours late for the kickoff press conference against Ryan Garcia in 2023. However, this time, he took tardiness to another level, arriving almost 4 to 5 hours late to his first event with Roach in New York. He then followed it up by being 90 minutes late to the weigh-in. While Davis is typically relaxed and playful during fight week, his behavior in the ring was more concerning. He twice took his eyes off Roach to argue with referee Steve Willis in the first half of the fight, only to get caught with clean punches in return.
You won't get too much on paper. But shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna...
Prime video cameras also captured another strange moment. Davis yelling over trainer Calvin Ford's instructions between rounds, repeatedly shouting, "Listen to me." Then came the controversial moment in the 9th round. After Roach landed a series of jabs, Davis began blinking aggressively and suddenly turned away from the action, taking a knee. What happened next only added to the confusion. Davis quickly got up and ran to his corner, where Ford used a towel to wipe his eyes, a move that, under the rules, could have led to disqualification. Referee Steve Willis initially began a mandatory 8 count but stopped at 3, issuing a warning instead of calling the knockdown. The decision to let the fight continue without penalizing Davis has only fueled the ongoing controversy.
The decision wins. I was like, oh, you. I said, oh, shit, here it goes. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with.
Not only was Davis's explanation of the incident during his post-fight interview unusual, but his overall demeanor seemed surprisingly casual, especially for someone who had just come dangerously close to losing both his title and undefeated record. As the crowd showered him with boos, his reaction came off as a mix of embarrassment and indifference. "I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in it, so when I started sweating, it got in my eyes and burned," Davis said. "Damn, why are y'all booing? I'm telling the truth. Look at my hair, I just got it done. But it's all good, man. Y'all know how it is. They love you, then they hate you, then they love you again."
So yeah, man, it's just crazy. I ain't gonna lie. It's okay. We gonna run it back. It's okay.
Davis, who has a mandatory rematch clause in his contract and expressed interest in exercising it on social media Monday, appeared more composed while discussing his performance at the post-fight press conference. However, his comments revealed a lack of awareness regarding the rules of the sport. "Nobody likes a draw, especially from a guy who gets knockouts and things like that. But it's cool," Davis said. "I feel like if we fight again, I could do more. I should have done more. I was lost and lost track of the rounds. That's why we need ring girls. I didn't even know what round it was. Facts."
No,
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get
caught while my eyes were burning. "You can get knocked out like that," Davis explained. "So I'd rather take the knee. But I didn't really know you could get disqualified for receiving mid-round corner assistance. When Willis started counting, I was like, what the hell? But it's cool." Although Davis has faced tough competition in recent years, including current welterweight title holder Mario Barrios and former 140-pound champion Isaac Pitbull Cruz, the Roach fight was his first noticeably flat performance since 2017. That year, in the co-main event of the Floyd Mayweather vs. Conor McGregor super fight, Davis missed weight, losing his IBF 130-pound title on the scales. He was then booed for much of an uneven performance against Francisco Fonseca, though he ultimately secured an 8th-round knockout. In the years that followed, Davis emerged as a global star, with his in-ring dominance overshadowing a string of legal troubles. Despite frequent controversies outside the ring, his performances remained unaffected until now.
my eyes was burning, and you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than.
What fueled even more speculation about Davis's mindset before the Roach fight was his repeated talk of retirement. He suggested multiple times that he might walk away from boxing as early as the end of 2025. Davis also spoke about seeking therapy and prioritizing his mental health to become a better father. "That's why I don't want to box anymore," he told Inside Boxing Live in January. "I want to do therapy, but I feel like if I do, I'd lose the fire inside me. I want everything out so I never think about fighting again or even getting angry. I have 2 girls, and I want them to be softer and more humble." These statements raised concerns about whether Davis had already lost his hunger for the sport before facing Roach.
But I didn't really know that you can get disqualified for all that. Or when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know.
Being true to yourself is what really matters. Forcing yourself to keep going when your heart isn't in it, that's when things go wrong. If you know you don't want to do something but continue anyway, that's a problem. Wanting a more peaceful life for yourself and your family is a noble reason to make a change. But in boxing, there's no worse place to be than inside the ring when you no longer have the passion for it. Every fight puts both your physical and mental health on the line, making it a dangerous place for someone whose mind is elsewhere.
The decision I want, but we didn't get a loss either, so I felt like I won it, the last couple rounds, so it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I could get that rematch because I know what I can do in a fight. But it's
Davis is one of the most electrifying and captivating fighters boxing has seen in years. In a sport as unpredictable as this, even the best can have an off night. Fighters are often judged by their latest performance, for better or worse. As the conversation shifts from the controversy surrounding Davis versus Roach to the anticipation of a highly anticipated rematch, let's hope Tank is still in the game for the right reasons. If he steps back into the ring with the right mindset and focus, he can once again showcase the brilliance that made him a star.
Tank, how much does it hurt to have the draw on your record now? And do you think it's going to stand as some sort of like renewed motivation for you? Like
The rematch seems to be set in motion almost immediately, but one major obstacle remains: the decision of the World Boxing Association. The governing body must first determine whether the fight stands as a draw or a loss. Until then, Gervonta Davis must focus on fixing the issues within his corner. For the latest updates on breaking news, key moments, and major events in the world of boxing, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content. Until next time, peace out.